Stellarstone, Titus, Chemco, Active Enterprises, Accolade. What do these companies have in common? They have all produced games that are complete abominations and have earned spots in my top 20 worst games ever list. However, a new challenger has appeared. A video game company so shameless in their efforts to create horrible games that they have somehow managed to outdo every single company I previously mentioned and make them look nearly tolerable by comparison. The company I speak of is Phoenix Games. Not much is known about Phoenix Games other than they originated in the United Kingdom. Their first game, supposedly, was Shoot for the PlayStation 1, which was released in the year 2003. I could barely find any information on this game except for a scan of the back cover art. Let's give Phoenix Games the benefit of the doubt here and say that this game is actually passable despite coming off as a ripoff of Duke Nukem. The problem with Phoenix Games doesn't begin until March 28th, 2003, when a game called Dalmatians II is released. From what I understand about this horrendous story, it centers around a group of dogs being terrorized by this cat. The dogs try to get a gingerbread heart like the cat has and end up getting arrested. Then the cat gets a laptop and they try to find the other dogs, who have been taken to a dog pound. After this, I couldn't continue watching because my eyes started bleeding. These cutscenes are so horribly animated that literally anyone could have done a better job with the right tools. I actually thought the game was going to explode at one point when one of the dogs had to jump because that would have actually required a decent number of frames.
Get it?
They even have the audacity to build it up with a drum roll because these assholes had to have been aware of just how bad this actually was. Speaking of bad, this dub is on par with the atrocious Dragon Ball Z Speedy dub.
Yazirabe!
Don't speak so harshly, unhindered, Grandpa.
What? You eat my meal without permission?
Now that would really interest me.
I was also there. I had,
Yes, that's the way it was.
What the fuck did these people do? Record this in a toilet? I don't understand how you could get audio quality as terrible as this unless you were intentionally trying to. This is not helped by the fact that the lip syncing is even worse, the progression of events is nonsensical, and the actual plot is ridiculous. Look at this.
Stop! Stop! Give that back immediately!
Huh?
Thieves! Stop the thieves!
is there something not in order?
These dogs here wanted to steal my gingerbread hearts.
But that's not true. We didn't want to steal them, just to look at them before we buy them. Buy? Do you have any money?
No, not directly. We wanted to do a swap.
Swap? You can't come up with anything better than that?
There's no more to be said. They're roaming stray dogs. They should be locked away.
They can understand these dogs, and this idiot shopkeeper says to arrest them because they took a gingerbread heart down from her display. What the fuck? And why does this say Police? I thought this game was made in the UK, but it's like the story is based in Germany. Oh wait, that's right. This game was made in collaboration with a German animation company named Dingo Pictures. Dingo Pictures. In fact, they made almost all, if not every single one of the movies for the games that Phoenix Games produced, from The Legend of Mulan, to Dinosaur Adventure, to Animal Soccer World. You'll notice that all these games are ripoffs of other well-known movies, either from Disney or another well-known movie company. Legend of Mulan and Dinosaur Adventure are just terrible, but we have to talk about Animal Soccer World. In any other circumstance where a video game was geared around an animated movie, or any movie at all, let's say like Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, I'd categorize it as just that. A movie. That's why Plumbers Don't Wear Ties isn't on my top 20 worst games ever list. It just isn't interactive enough. But Animal Soccer World, holy Jesus Christ, this is one of the worst fucking games I've ever played in my entire life. Just like with all the other Dingo Picture produced Phoenix games, nearly everyone is voiced by the same person, except this time they got someone who could barely speak English. I mean, someone who could barely speak at all.
What are you doing today?
I don't know yet.
We can visit some friends.
Sounds good. I like visiting friends very much.
The voice actor responsible for this garbage can only range from broken English to yelling sounds to broken English with his nose covered so that the voice sounds different to whispering to more broken English. I cannot believe just how bad this really is. Among the incredible cast of characters that Animal Soccer World has to offer, we have a Simba clone who had his nose surgically removed, a reporter named Harry who seems to suffer from extreme schizophrenia,
Let's see it, because you can only hear me. Okay.
a Mufasa clone, a goat stalker, a bear who's trying to keep the contents of his stomach from leaking out of his penis, drag queen gang member ducks, and a suicidal monkey. I honestly cannot do these cutscenes justice by describing them. You have to see some of this shit.
There is no party.
Oh.
It's driving me crazy.
That's not true. You're just mad because I can shoot the ball threaded.
No, you can't.
I can.
No. Yes. No. So, everybody knows what's going on. I myself do not play. I am too old. But I will train you. And everybody has to do what I say.
Dogs, I thought we were for the Jungle Kings.
Yeah, you maybe. I stand with the wild dogs. What's going on? Who do we have here? You. You guys are going into Area S. And if you're making one wrong move, I will eat you. You old dictator.
Hier zijn we met z'n allen, we hebben een fijne tijd. We gaan een beetje ballen, het wordt een mooie strijd.
The referee blows his whistle and... Ladies and gentlemen, Custer has the ball, and yes, Custer passed them down to goal.
Hey, the Jungle Kings have possession of the ball.
Be careful, Butcher. Don't run. Stay there.
And there is Jacko. Jacko the attacker. And he stops Sasha with a fearless tackle. He gets the ball and puts it back in front. Finally, a chance for the Jungle Kings. If that's not gonna be a goal.
There is a big tackle by the boss. He gets him at his feet. Yeah, now the referee blows the whistle. A few minutes ago, he didn't blow the whistle. This is a very bad ref. He chooses sides. Get rid of this ref. Boo, boo, boo.
Now that we've seen these horrible cutscenes, I bet some of you are wondering, is that it? Is that the entire game? Well, the answer to that is no. The original Dalmatians 2 for the PS1 has 2 minigames, which are also terrible. There's a coloring book where the cursor moves so slow, it'd probably take you 10 minutes just to cover half of it, and then it has this terrible matching game where the cursor is just as slow, and when you move a panel, it sounds like someone's taking a dump. By the way, there's no music at all in any of these games, just sound effects. Animal Soccer World is the exact same. No real difference, just a couple more games and a slight increase in graphics. These sound effects, though, are even more jarring here. Now, before we talk about the final game I'm gonna mention that is easily the worst out of all of these, I have to bring up how cheap these bastards really are. Animal Soccer World, as you see it, is merely a port of a PlayStation 1 game called Animal Football. And Dalmatians 2? It was ported to the PlayStation 2 and called Dalmatians 3. That's right, Phoenix Games ported these games to superior consoles, and all they did in the way of making the games better was adding some more dumb mini-games. They kept the same horribly animated films and shat the game out upon release, not mentioning or ever bringing to light that the game already existed somewhere else. Dalmatians 3 is a fucking joke. It's the same template from Animal Soccer World, but they didn't even improve the graphics of the picture frames in the puzzles. I would now like to read some excerpts from their company profile on their now defunct website. With a small elite team of 6 people specializing in licensing, marketing, and publishing of value-priced games, development and manufacturing are bundled through outsourcing and collaboration. This approach suppresses our fixed costs and enables a revolutionary low price strategy. Phoenix's aim is to bring quality product to the market at remarkable prices, thus maximizing sales for the developers. We boast the shortest time required from development to product release in the industry. Ordinarily, the average development period for a game is 18 months, whereas Phoenix need a mere 3 to 5 months. With integrated standards in production and packaging, it is now possible to realize low costs through stabilization of variable costs and suppression of fixed costs. And there you have it. That's the reason these games are so terrible. It's not because they're budget titles, it's because they develop them in the blink of an eye and shit them out to the consumer in the condition they're in just to save a couple dollars and not even put forth the effort to make a real fucking game. Speaking of a real game, why don't we take a look at what Phoenix Games has produced when it isn't just a shitty Dingo Pictures collaboration? I show you London Cab Challenge. Now, this is, without a question, one of the worst games I have ever played. Before I show you the actual game, I feel compelled as a video game reviewer to show you the loading screen for this game in its entirety. After all that shit finally loads, you get dumped into the main menu and you can start the game. This game runs so fucking fast, and the controls are so fucking delayed that not hitting things is pretty much impossible. You really have to play the game to get a sense of just how delayed the controls are. It's like you press the D-pad and the car moves an entire 3 seconds later. And the physics in this game are also a joke. It's like you're a bumper car stuck to the road. You hit another car? No problem. You hit a tree? No problem. You hit a bus? No problem. Also, I hate to point out the obvious, but the textures are having a seizure. And speaking of the textures, holy shit. The grass looks like green water, which is fucking unacceptable considering that this game came out in 2006. Almost any game for the PS2 at the time, or even before that you can even think of, looked better than this horse shit. And I guess we already know why, don't we? It's because Phoenix Games delivers quality by rushing a game in 3 months' time and releasing it in the worst fucking condition possible just to get a quick buck by either suckering someone in and making them think that it's an actual Disney game, or by promising some dumb fun for a cheap price and giving someone this garbage. Every single game I've mentioned thus far gets a rest in piss. However, the question remains, are these some of the worst games ever? The answer is yes. Animal Soccer World and London Cab Challenge definitely deserve spots on my top 20 worst games ever list. Maybe in the future, once I've played even more terrible games like these, I'll go back and fix that list up a little. Until then, I'm out of here. I have to go play some soccer. Yeah, DX fine, C19, he got the ball, DX fine, he gonna make the goal, he make the goal, yeah, he make the goal.